Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film another episode of a series that's kind of forgotten on my channel. I feel like you guys know me and my series. I feel like I can't stop doing series, but I'm also not sorry about it because I just love filming series on my channel. So I started this one like a couple of years ago. It's a old faves and new finds kind of video where I bring in some old favorites that I'm really wanting to use and combining it with some new finds. And I told you guys in my last video, I've been like finally organizing my beauty room, and so I feel like I have been discovering things that I really want to try and also rediscovering things that I miss wearing. So I'm gonna kind of combine those in today's video. I'm gonna have like a fall makeup look in mind, and I pulled all the products that I feel like will really help me achieve what I personally feel like is a go-to look for me in fall. Focusing on skin, we're gonna do something super smooth and super flawless, but also not something that's gonna weigh your face down or feel too heavy. Yeah, I pulled some of my favorite products for complexion, which I'm super excited about. Before we get into the look, this video is kindly sponsored by Haley's Beauty. I've worked with them before. I love their brand. Their team is so sweet, and obviously they make amazing products as well. They focus on complexion. It's actually a female-founded brand, which I think is so fun, but not only that, it's actually founded by a female chemist. So Ashley Ocampo is her name. She's a female chemist. She decided to start her own beauty line, which I think is so cool because if you think about it, like it's not just somebody saying like, oh, I want to start a beauty line. It's somebody who really understands ingredients and formulas. And so every single product that I've tried from Haley's Beauty that's like for the complexion, because that's kind of what they focus on, they work so well for me. The formulas are so luxurious feeling at a great price. They're vegan, they're cruelty free. And since they're like skin focused, all the ingredients that she uses are like really good for your skin. So I'm going to be featuring some of my favorites today as we go along, specifically their Rewind Concealer, which I have already talked about on my channel. It was in my August favorites. I am obsessed with this. So I'm going to show you guys how I love to apply it, and you'll see for yourself how gorgeous it looks on the skin. And they also make some incredible tools that I'm going to be using as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with a new find. Again, since I like have been digging through my drawers, I kind of found this and I was so bummed that I haven't tried it yet. It's from Lisa Eldridge, which I absolutely love her products. I splurge on her lipsticks every time she launches them, which I'm waiting on another shipment from my last order with her new lipstick shades. This is something that I bought a while back and I have not given it a fair shot. This is her Elevated Glow, what is it called? Seamless Skin Elevated Glow. I think I have mine in the shade Cosmic Rose. I'm going to apply this on the outer portions of the face. So this can be used as a highlight on top of foundation or underneath foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on the outsides of the face. And I'm actually gonna take my Haley's Beauty Brilliant Kabuki brush, which is so soft. I'm a huge fan of rounded foundation brushes. When it's more of that kabuki feel, it really helps to buff in the product. So I'm gonna use this to buff in that highlight product. And I was watching Lisa's videos and she said that you're supposed to kind of wait for this to dry down a little bit before moving into foundation. There's something about the formula where something in it kind of locks down and lifts the skin or something like that. I watched her video on it and I get really into formulas and things. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. In the meantime, I wanted to reach back into an old fave, and with fall, I really love something that's gonna really like make me feel beautiful and confident. So it's gotta be something that I have relied on for a while, so I wanna use this again. This is a tried and true favorite of mine. It's the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Foundation. I wear the shade 108. I feel like that has dried pretty well at this point. The glow is really beautiful. By the way, I feel like my shirt is giving me Thackeray Binks energy, you know, from Hocus Pocus, but I'm kind of loving it. I'm just kind of going with it. I actually do love how this shirt looks. It's like a beige denim, so the fabric is really interesting. But yeah, I put it on and immediately thought of Hocus Pocus. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go in with this foundation. I'm just gonna use one pump. I'm gonna apply it to the back of my hand. I'm gonna go in with that Haley's Beauty Brilliant Kabuki brush. I'm gonna dip into this foundation. Here, I'll show you on the back of my hand. I'm gonna kind of stipple it around, and then I'm gonna start from the center of the face and work my way outward. I'm kind of combining sweeping and buffing motions with this brush, because again, like with a kabuki brush, where it's got more of that rounded tip, using circular motions for me is always like the best way to apply a product with a brush like this. It's so soft on the skin, you guys. I wish you could feel it through the camera, but it's still dense enough to where you don't feel like the brush hairs are just kind of like moving around and not actually blending the product into your face. It's a really, really, really nice brush. And it's not only designed for like just foundation, you can use it for cream formulas like you saw me blend out my highlight with. You could use it with like a cream bronzer, just any cream product that you're wanting to really seamlessly blend out on the skin. A brush like this would work so beautifully for that. I'm gonna now go into one of my favorite sponges, which is also from Hailey's Beauty. Look how soft it is. It is such a beautiful sponge. I've been using this for a long time as well. I'm gonna pick up the excess off the back of my hand and then press this foundation into the skin. I always love to use a brush and sponge combo. If you've watched my videos, you know that. That's no secret. I feel like a brush evenly distributes the product, and I use the sponge to pick up any excess, but also for the finish of a sponge. It will get rid of any brush lines, even though this brush doesn't really leave any brush lines whatsoever. I do a sponge for the finish of it and also to press the product into the skin a little bit more, and I just feel like it gives longevity to the complexion. So brush and sponge forever, no matter what complexion product I'm using. That's no secret. I've been doing that for forever on my channel. I love the coverage that that gives, but it still feels lightweight, still feels breathable. We're gonna move into concealer. This is the Hailey's Beauty Rewind Concealer. It's a blurring full coverage concealer. When I first tried this out, I think it's on camera somewhere. I did a first impressions, I'm pretty sure. I was blown away. I used it like every day after that, and it has really stuck in my routine ever since. I'm going to be using the shade Fair Neutral. I wanted to show you guys this applicator. It has a really cool kind of angled tip, and it's a metal applicator, so it's going to feel really cooling underneath the eyes. Let me just show you with one eye so you can see what I'm talking about. But again, like I've talked about this before, I love it. I featured it in a favorites video a couple months back because I really just have been loving it. So I applied it directly from the tube. A little goes a long way with this. It's a cream to powder finish. And like the coverage is just stunning. So I'm gonna take my Hailey's Beauty sponge and just start to blend this out in the area where I want that lift and brightness. Something else that I really like about this concealer, since trying it out for the past couple of months, is that you can go really thin with it for like an everyday kind of no makeup look, and it will just kind of brighten your eyes. Or if you're wanting that super airbrushed kind of glam look, you can layer up a little bit more and it doesn't look heavy under the eyes, which I absolutely love. So I'll show you guys a little bit more. So that's just one little coat if you wanted something for every day. Let's layer up a little bit more for that airbrushed effect, since I am going to go a little more glam today with my eye look. Taking that same sponge and just pressing it into the skin. I love how buildable it is. I'm going to bring it up into this inner corner here to brighten that, and then a little bit on the eyelids to cancel out the discoloration there. And even with 2 layers on the skin, it doesn't look heavy or feel heavy. Hopefully you guys can kind of see the difference that that makes. It still looks so skin-like. It feels refreshing underneath the eyes. It truly is such a beautiful formula. It wears really well on me as well. Like, it's not something that I just barely tried, even though it is newer to me. I feel like this is kind of like an in-betweener for this video. It's like a new favorite, you know? Instead of an old favorite or new find, it's a new favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that same concealer out under the other eye. So before filming this video, I was learning a little bit more about this product, and apparently it's formulated with diamond powder, which sounds so fancy, and it looks fancy too. It just really helps to bring more brightness and radiance to the under eye, which I feel like I notice. It's such a unique formula because you've got that matte kind of whipped full coverage feel, but then there's like a lightweight radiance to it. It's a really, really beautiful concealer. Darn it, I got makeup on my shirt already. Me and my esthetician were talking about this the other day, how like every time we want to wear a lighter shirt, we spill something, or like lighter pants, we spill something. But the reason we wear the lighter shirt or pants is because when we're wearing anything else, we don't spill anything on ourselves. That just happened to me, so it is what it is, I guess. So far, I'm loving the complexion though. I love the direction this is going. If you guys want to try out the sponge or the brush or this amazing concealer, I will have it all linked down below. And also, they were so kind and gave me a code for today's video. So if you use the code Allie at checkout, you'll get $5 off an order of $25 or more. So definitely check it out if you're looking for some complexion essentials and staples. I'm seriously obsessed with these products. Moving on to powder, I'm gonna do an old favorite. This isn't like too old, I guess, but it's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I'm gonna take the shade Sugar Cookie, which is like the lightest shade, just for that brightness. I'm gonna make sure to tap out any concealer that I don't want to lock in. So that's actually a really good tip with concealer, to leave it sitting for a few minutes and just see where the excess product settles. Take a finger or like your pinky and just tap out the excess really gently right before going in and locking it in with powder. And that will ensure you don't accidentally lock in concealer creases throughout the day. I'm taking a small brush and really pressing in the under eye area, and also this area right here. This is where I get larger pores. So when I press powder here, I feel like it really helps to kind of add to that airbrushed effect. Same thing over here. I'm gonna really sweep and then press the powder into the T-zone a little bit. I'm gonna kind of go through the brows because I'm gonna lock those in next. I mean, draw those on. Did I say lock those in? I meant draw them on. But putting powder through the brows really helps the brow pencil to adhere a lot easier than if there's like just your bare skin or skincare underneath. It really, really helps with that. I'm gonna take a little bit of a larger brush and just kind of press the powder into the outer portions of the skin. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more of my Haley's Beauty concealer. I'm gonna pick that up on the back of my hand with my Haley's Beauty sponge and try to conceal my blemishes down here. What in the world? I'm getting all these crazy breakouts right now because I'm actually in the middle of a little bit of like a detox for my gut. I won't bore you with the details, but basically I'm doing a gut reset and I was expecting to have some symptoms. Apparently, as your body detoxes, things like acne and yeah, just breakouts can happen a little bit more frequently in the beginning. So I feel like that's what's going on, but that's all right. Nothing I've never dealt with before. We're gonna go in with an old favorite. This is the Anastasia Brow Definer. I love this for super quick brows. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill the brows in really quick. Okay, now that brows are on, I feel kind of funny because I normally do bronzer and then brows, but we're gonna kind of go backwards today. I'm gonna go in with an old favorite. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100. I really love a good matte bronzer for fall. I mean, I am open to all kinds of bronzers. I do really like more of a glowy bronzer every once in a while, but I feel like in fall especially, I keep the skin a little bit more matte with a lot of the products. Not everything, obviously. If I'm wearing a highlight, it's hard to wear a matte highlight, but you know what I mean. I just feel like if you're wanting that airbrushed, flawless kind of a finish, a matte bronzer is really key. It's something that's gonna really blend itself out and just look super seamless on the skin, and I find that this formula does that for me. Okay, I'm actually gonna take a little bit of powder and just lightly press this underneath the eyes while we work on the eyeshadow, just to ensure I don't get any fallout stuck there. If I have a little layer of powder, I can just sweep it away at the end. I wanted to go with an old favorite. I found this during my cleanup and I was like, I need to use this again. It's the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie No. 2 palette. This for fall, I mean all year round, incredible, but for fall, so good. So I'm gonna be using this. I'm gonna start out with the shade Bum, which is this right here. It's a really beautiful peachy color. And I'm just gonna start sweeping that in the crease and a little bit above as my transition. I'm gonna take this pretty lightly because I do want a visible transition shade, but I don't want it to be too overpowering. I want just something super soft for today's look in the transition, but I want something a little more intense on the lids. So, all right, let's see. We're gonna take the shade Patootie, which is this beautiful brown. I'm gonna tap off the excess and just start shaping out that outer corner, kind of buffing it down toward the lash line and then up into the crease, just alternating back and forth. Okay, after that's kind of blended out, I'm actually gonna pinch the brush and apply that to the lower lash line, just with whatever's left on the brush. All right, now for the lid, I'm gonna take the shade right here in the middle called Nudie. I'm gonna take this on my finger and I'm gonna really carefully start to press this onto the eyelid. I'm being very careful because this does have quite a bit of shimmer in it and I did do my complexion first, but if I'm gentle enough and really press it on, I shouldn't have that much fallout at all, if any. Oh, this color. It's so beautiful and so sparkly and it kind of has like that muted taupey undertone. So it just, for fall, come on now, that is so beautiful. There's also like little pink reflex. It's just, oh, it's so beautiful. I love this shade. Let's do the same thing on this eye. That is so stunning. I'm gonna go back into the shade Bum, which was that peachy color. Now that I have the shimmer on the lids, I'm gonna kind of bring that peachy shade up a little more, just super gently toward the brows to just lift the eye look a little more. Okay, before we move on, I'm gonna go ahead and go into a new find. Well, actually, it's not super new, but it was new to me all over again because I tried this out in a video. I tested it, really loved it, and was so excited to wear it again. And it like vanished. It completely disappeared in my beauty room, and I was like, how do I lose a mascara that I just barely tried in a video? But then I found it. Apparently I had put it back in the PR package to take a picture in the thumbnail and didn't think to look back in the PR package. So this is a new find, even though I tried it a while ago. I just barely refound it. So it's the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on the top lashes because that way it will kind of help catch any glitter fallout if there is any as we work on the lower lash line. But this wears really well on me so far. It doesn't smudge or flake, which is key for me, so really liking this. Okay, I'm gonna take a flat, damp brush and I'm gonna dip into the shade Lush. And I'm gonna use this shade to kind of define the lower lash line a little bit, starting from the inner portion and moving about halfway out. I really like that kind of two-toned effect with a little bit more of like a rose gold on the lid and more bronze gold on the lower lash line. We're gonna go into the shade Bum, which is that peachy color. I'm gonna tap off the excess and I'm gonna go right underneath that gold shade on the lower lash line just to kind of create a transition shade underneath that shadow. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and sweep away any fallout under the eyes. Since I did have a little bit of that excess powder, it really helped to catch anything and just blur anything out a little bit more. And then I'm gonna add that Rare Beauty mascara to the lower lashes now. All right, now that we've got mascara on, I'm gonna dip into an old favorite. This is from Patrick Ta. When it comes to fall makeup, this blush is perfect. So this is the Monochrome Moment Velvet Blush in the shade She's Seductive. It's like this beigey mauve color. It's beautiful. I'm gonna take this on a blush brush. And since it is a little bit of a deeper mauvey tone, I'm gonna start a little further back on the cheeks. And then I'm gonna work my way forward as there's less product on the brush. I'm gonna kind of go across the nose with this. Okay, let's see how that seamless skin elevated glow looks on the cheekbones. I'm gonna take this very gently because this is what stained my Thackeray Binks shirt. I think it splashed when I kind of like pulled the applicator out too quick, so be warned. But I'm just taking this on my hand. I'm gonna go on the other side of my Haley's Beauty sponge and pick this up. And then let's use the sponge to stamp this onto the high points of the face. Ooh. You know, in my eyes, Lisa Eldridge can do no wrong. Wow. Wow, that is so nice. I'm gonna kind of dot this down the nose a little and on the cupid bow, and I'm gonna pop it above the brows a little bit, just so that when like the light hits, it's kind of all over the face, not just in this one area. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the foundation that got on the lips. We're gonna go into an old favorite. This is the Endless Cacao Make It Forever Artist Color Pencil. I normally use this as an eyeliner, but today I wanted to use it as a lip liner because I just felt like it would be so beautiful for fall. So I'm gonna line and fill in the lips with this. It's a very like grungy kind of taupey color, as you will see as I'm applying it. I'm filling in the outer corners of this, or with this. And then for lipstick, I know it looks kind of funny right now as I just hit myself with the pencil. For lipstick, I'm gonna go in with a new find. This is one of the Milani, what are these called? Something matte lipsticks. And this is the shade Secret, which I personally really love. I'm going to apply this on the center of the lips like that, and then use my finger to tap this into the lip liner. Wow, that combo. Speaking of new finds, that is a new combo and that is so pretty. All right, a brand spanking new find for me is this gloss from Fawn Beauty. This is in the shade A Moment. Oh my goodness, I am already so in love with this. I'm gonna put this on the center of the lips just to add even more dimension and just to warm things up a little bit more. Okay, I am loving how this looks. I'm thrilled. Okay, we are going to assess the situation, aka add more bronzer. I'm gonna take more of my Maybelline bronzer, just kind of look at myself in a little bit of a further away mirror. We're just gonna add a bit more of this along the jawline and down the neck, but I like how it looks everywhere else. All right, how about a little more blush? It wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't add a little more blush. More towards the front of the cheeks. I feel like it needs it right there. While we're here, I'm gonna take that same blush on an eyeshadow brush. I wanna tie in some of these tones, these pinkier tones. So I'm just gonna gently sweep this right here on the eyelid so that everything is tied together. We'll run a little bit underneath this lower lash line, just super gently. Okay, I really like how things look. We're gonna finish off with the setting spray. This is actually a new find for me. I've actually used it twice now and really like it so far. This is also from Haley's Beauty. It's the Refresh Ultimate Priming and Setting Spray. I haven't yet tried it as a primer, but I have used it as a setting spray. I immediately loved how fine the mist is. You can't even see it because it's just so fine. But this is supposed to be like a really hydrating, really balancing, priming and setting spray, and it's supposed to help your makeup last longer while not settling into your skin. So far, so good on this. I feel like with setting sprays, it takes me a couple of times to really see how it works with like a lot of different makeup products, but I'm excited about this new find. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just gently spray this across the face in kind of an X shape. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. Then I always like to go back in with my sponge. Just the same sponge we were using from Haley's Beauty, and I'm just gonna press that into the complexion to get rid of any powdery finish. Ooh, that highlighter, so pretty. All right, for brows, actually first, I'm just gonna take a little more powder and make sure that the center of my brows are nice and matte, also the tip of the nose. I'm just using the same Huda Beauty powder. For some reason I get oily right here, so I do like to kind of set that a little bit before going into a very old favorite, the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter to lock in the brows. I swear this brow product will never leave my routine. I love it. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup look. I can't even tell you how much I love this. This is why I love filming videos like this, where I'm able to reuse some things that I know are staples and work super well for me. We get to try a couple of things that are newer, like the highlighter and the new gloss. But overall, like, I get to use staples, so I know the final results are going to be stunning. And I love how this looks, especially my complexion. My under eye area is so blurred and smooth, but it feels like I'm wearing the most comfortable skincare on the face. That's what I love about routines like this, products like this. You just can't go wrong. I feel like this is so glamorous and very fall appropriate in my opinion. So I hope you guys love this look as much as I do. Again, huge thank you to my friends over at Haley's Beauty for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to check out any of their products, because I promise you, they're amazing. Like, that concealer is truly a favorite of mine. You already knew that though, because again, I already put it in my favorites video a couple months ago. So if you haven't tried it yet and you're looking for a new concealer that's just gonna really brighten and lift the under eye area, give you that full coverage, but not like a heavy feel, smooth the skin, wear really well all day, you should definitely look into the Haley's Beauty concealer. It's truly just that good. I haven't tried a concealer that I've been this floored about in a really long time. And of course, the tools really help. Like you saw, you need good brushes and good sponges to get a finish like this, to get a seamless blend. And these two are great and they're gonna be in my routine for a while. This sponge has been a favorite of mine for a long time. Actually, before I filmed this, I knew I was gonna use the sponge and I couldn't find it anywhere. You'll see a theme through my stories in this video, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Turns out it was in a travel bag of mine because I had recently taken it with me and I forgot that I had taken it, but it truly is such an amazing sponge. So good that I travel with it, you know? So yeah, I will have all these products listed and linked in the description box down below. And if you want to try out anything from Haley's Beauty, don't forget to use the code Allie for $5 off your orders of $25 or more. It excludes sets, but if you want to try the concealer, the brush, the sponge, have at it, and don't forget to use my code if you want to save a little bit of money. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I can't get over how much I love this makeup right now. I truly hope you guys love this look. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.